Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So my voice is a little bit gone today, hopefully it's still bearable. I am just a little bit sick and I am just slightly recovering from having a stuffed up nose and a bit of a sore throat. But anyways, today we're going to be building a car for the Kei showcase. So this showcase actually came out a few days ago on the Discord, and I also posted it in the community section of the YouTube, but I didn't make a rules video like I usually do, and that's mostly just because I ran out of time. So instead, what I'm doing, as I normally do, is I'm going to be making my own car, and at the same time sort of announcing it via video. But yeah, this is the Kei car showcase. So this showcase and the submissions in particular close on the 18th, which is 2 weeks away from when this video was posted. So if you're just seeing this now, don't worry, no rush, you still have time. Just head on over to the Discord, link is in the description, and read the rules and submit your own car for it. So as we do with most of these showcases, we do have categories of cars, and we are going to be doing voting as we normally do, so you need to make it look kind of like they're supposed to. In particular, this one, cars will actually be turned away if they are not aesthetically similar to what it's supposed to be. I don't think that's really meant to be something that's just going to kill creativity. It's more like if you submit a golf cart like this, you're not going to get in. You got to submit something that actually kind of works for this. And you'll have noticed right away I'm over top of the Bugo body, and that is no mistake. I'm going to be submitting a Bugo of sorts, but we're going to be getting into the categories here. So we have 3 different categories with 3 different specs. For me, I'm going to go with the street class. There is also tuned and race, as I mentioned before. And you can see the chart for those here. This is just a general idea of what we're going with. And then there are, a long list of rules for each one of them, and then a picture at the bottom to show you what they're supposed to look like. So let's get into it. Obviously, the most important things right out of the gate when you're picking a body, you need to pick one that is within the max length and that is within the max width. So I'm picking a body that is well within the max length, but width is a tricky piece. 1.6 meters is not a lot. So I did check, and the Bugo does fit within that. You can see the track width there is 1.32. So this should work out perfectly for us. Moving on to the chassis makeup, this is just a quick thing that I did, but we'll be changing it based on the specs. So in the street class, we have to have a model and variant years between 1990 and 2013. Now generally people are going to go 2013 because that's where you get the best tech, but this is a Bugo, so we're going to go for 1990. It just makes the most sense for this. Now the minimum weight for this class is 700, sorry. So we need to keep that in mind. This thing actually does have to weigh something. I don't remember the Bugo and how much it weighs, but it's not very much, even with super low quality parts, so we may have to come back and change some of this to fix that. And being a street class car as well, a lot of the more foreign materials are not allowed. I can't make it out of carbon fiber as an example, can't make it out of fiberglass, can't make it out of glued aluminum, but monocoque and space frame are allowed in this class, so that's what we're going with. Oh yeah, there's a budget overall for this class of $25,000, so we do have to be very particular with the quality sliders. We'll have to see where this ends up at the end of this. Anyways, we're going to make a new engine. Obviously, we have engine requirements as well. Overarching engine requirements state that we cannot have more than 63 horsepower, so we're going to try and aim for exactly 63, which means, of course, we're going with an inline 3. How could we not with a Bugo? Maximum displacement for this class is a fancy 660 cc's, so we're going to try and go for high revving. We're going to have a low stroke. Don't worry, I don't mess this up in every video, although I did in the last. So we're going to go for that 660 cc's pretty much exactly because I do want to make this naturally aspirated. Alright, that's as close as we're going to get. That is a 659.3cc engine. Oh yeah, something else that's kind of important is we need a catalytic converter, and we also need a noise limit, which is very specific, so we'll get to that soon. Also, we're going to be using regular fuel, and well, other than that, we can just kind of choose what we want. So I'm thinking overhead cam, I'm thinking 2 valves in there, and just everything cast. Now we do have a maximum weight of 1,050 kilos, so we do need to keep under that. I don't know, like, we're just going to have to adjust when we finally get to the end of this one, otherwise the build's going to take 15 years to do. I'm just going to go for all cast internals, just makes the most sense for now, and we'll leave this alone, and obviously naturally aspirated for now as well. I'm thinking injection, I'm thinking Oh, multi-point EFI race intake. This is supposed to be fast, and we need that regular fuel as well. So on a naturally aspirated engine, the headers are extremely important. We're going to go and try and budget in some tubular ones. You can see that the costs of a lot of these just go up exponentially. They are very, very expensive the more you get up there, especially these race ones are extremely expensive. And we are going to need a catalytic converter. So it says 2 or 3-way is necessary, and we're probably going to want a muffler. I'm going to leave just 2 straight throughs on there. We'll leave that for now. That's 22 horsepower with a bit of knocking, very Bugo style. Okay, so we're running into an immediate issue here. The engine currently has 47.2 noise, which I guess is decibels. We can't go past 35, so we're going to have to be kind of specific with that. We're going to have to put at least 1 muffler on it. Down to 46. Uh-oh, is this even possible? 44. Hopefully that's not just a unit issue. I think I'm going to have trouble with this noise thing. Being at 35 decibels, that's pretty darn low. Even with full mufflers, I'm having issues with that. We'll have to see what I can do here. Alright, this is a bit awkward, but for the life of me, I cannot get that below 40. I have tried every combination of engine and every combination of muffler, as well as quality sliders, turbos, everything. I can't get it under, like, I got it to 39, but the only reason it was doing that was because I shrunk the exhaust all the way down, and it made like 16 horsepower, and that was the reason it was so quiet. So looks like an amendment to the rules might be necessary there. But anyway, the rules are constantly updating. Should probably be a good time to mention that. So just make sure to take a look before you actually make your submission. Go over them again once more, and then you can post it and see if it actually fits in the requirements. Most of them are not going to change, but some of them, maybe like that noise limit, might. Just small little details like that. But anyway, I might just be dumb here. I tried a bunch of stuff and it just didn't work. Either way, I'm going to ignore that and continue on. I'm not actually going to be entering the showcase, so it doesn't really matter, but yeah, you'll see what I did to make that happen anyways. Let's start back at the beginning of the engine. Back into cast components here. I want to make that 61 horsepower, was it? 63 horsepower. As easily as I can. There were some compression changes as well. I did get up to 61 horsepower, but I used a V6 to do that. I really want to use the inline engines, so we're going to actually go back to an inline 3, just so we can get a little bit better weight distribution. So I'm going for a pretty significant cam profile. We're all the way up at 75. Like, this is a pretty steep curve here, with a bit of knocking obviously causing issues, but we can remedy that with a bit of the old fuel and maybe some downing in the ignition timing. So we're at 25 horsepower, which isn't great. I was at a lot more than that before. Our exhaust is slightly restrictive, but it doesn't seem like that really matters. I do have mufflers on to the extreme extent, and I'll leave those on just to show 43 is as low as I can get. Oh, I think I figured out what was wrong there. Accidentally changed the, well, I didn't do this on purpose, but the displacement changed when I was messing with the engine sizes. Either way, we're back up to, there we go, 658.7, and I think we're back into workable territory. That's 35 horsepower. Oh yeah, this is the other thing I did. I put on a single barrel carburetor. Let's go back to injection. I'm kind of keen on using that, mostly because it's going to give us more power, and that's what I'm after. We do want to have a very nice, nicely torquey, although that doesn't really look like much torque there, 32 Newton meters out of this very tiny i3. I don't anticipate this car actually being that fast, but I would obviously like to make it as fast as it can be. So with 63 being the maximum horsepower for this class, and I think this is the only class that actually has a power restriction, I'm pretty keen on sticking with 61 there, and I like the way this looks. It's a pretty okay torque curve, pretty okay power curve, a little bit wobbly, but we've got 61 horsepower and 56 Newton meters of torque up at 8,000 RPM, so pretty high revving. Exhaust is a slight bit restrictive, so we might be able to pull a little bit of power out of there. Not the case, But yeah, looks like we're good to go here. It's been a while just designing the engine, goodness. Alright, so I did a little bit of testing with the actual bodies, and that's why there's an exhaust pipe on the back of this van. I just wanted to make sure that that didn't actually affect the sound that the engine was producing in that one little test there. So the Bugo body is this one here. I believe it's actually just this one right here. Just ignore that exhaust. Actually, let me fix that. But in order to make it the Bugo, I basically did that. And I believe I shrunk this in, and then I flattened this. Oh, wait. Brought that back in there. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I made that car. Now, keeping in mind that this Bugo is 10 years newer than the previous Bugo, we will make a few changes. Basically, the body is not supposed to change at all, though. That's kind of the idea of this brand. Well, I'm happy with that look. We've got a proper Bugo this time. Let's go ahead and add some fixtures to it. Now, the easy way to go is just to paint it red once again, but we should probably try and do something a bit different. So I've gone for a gray look. I think that just works out kind of perfectly for this. And also, it's keeping its nice silver rims because, of course, they just have to be steelies on this thing. Now, I do have the option of redesigning the front end, and I might do a few different changes, but first, I want to recreate what I had before, and then we'll move on to that. So I use these lights here. I think I was using these ones in particular. Yeah, that looks about right. Now we're starting to get somewhere that I remember. And there's no chance that any of this stuff can be made out of chrome. It's gotta be plastic. I've gone for a very similarly styled, but still slightly different grille for this Bugo. It's the modern updated version, although it really isn't that much different. And of course, it's going to be made out of completely plastic and basically nothing else. Yeah, I kind of like that. It's almost like it's familiar, but it's still different. And the Bugo would not be the Bugo unless you put little pieces like this on it. And I just realized that this one has color matching bumpers. That might be undone very soon here. Now that's the look I'm very familiar with. I like the way this is going. Although those color matched bumpers actually look pretty sleek on here. I don't know, should we go for that modern Bugo look? Or are we going to save this body style for 2000 when they finally change it again? Alright, so the back is a little bit more tricky. I've kind of gone ahead and done the front part of it. It's pretty much exactly as it was without the symbol on the front here. And then we'll try to update the back just a little bit. And then we'll move on to the rest of this thing. Wow, does that look tucked though? I'm not used to that look for this car. Thank goodness. I guess we're going to have a bit of an actual street speed Bugo here. So first thing I'm going to do is use a mod exhaust tip instead of the one that I used before. Just because that'll allow me to change up the color of it so it's not chrome. I think that just makes it a little bit too shiny for this car. So that's just like that. And of course we need to properly use these taillights. Yeah, these are the ones that I used on it. They actually fit the Yugo quite well just because the Yugo had its backup light right here. So I can just slap those on there. And I believe what I did was put a grill that went all the way around them and then a license plate in the middle. Looks like that, plus a lock and a wiper, and we're good to go. Oh yeah, how could I forget the trim piece on the side? No chance I can forget that one. Just gotta place it uncomfortably low. That's the ticket right there. Alright, so there is the Bugo right there. This is the nice gray version. The street-tuned version, let's say, a little bit lower in the back than I previously thought it would be. Let's change the wheels and we'll make it just a little bit more aggressive. We do need to make this at least somewhat in line with what the cars are supposed to look like. I actually like these rally rims on there quite a bit, so I'm going to go with those. But other than that, I think we should just leave it as is. Like, the basic car itself is good enough. Alright, on to some tricky bits. I already kind of went through and did a few of them, just so that the exhaust would actually appear. You can see that the muffler is... Well, we have all the mufflers that we need, but it's kind of snaking around a little bit. Hopefully that helps with muffling, because we're not exactly within restrictions at this point. But it's not like the Bugo was really following the rules anyways. So yeah, we have the ability to do all the different drive types, which in this case is just front wheel drive and all wheel drive. So we're going to go front wheel drive, manual, and our top speed is a little bit lower than it actually anticipated, which is pretty rare. Usually it's a little bit on the high side. Oh yeah, for this we're just going to leave it open for now. We'll come back and change that if we need to. and gearing wise we'll come back for that as well. Alright, so we're going to do radials, and we're only allowed basically chunky off-road, hard long life, and medium. So I'm going to go for the best that we can. We'll go for medium. We need as much grip as we can get. Now there are no restrictions on tire size from what I can see, so we can put some thick lads on here. We're just going to go ahead and keep, I don't know, we don't need that wide a wheel. Maybe 170s on both the front and the back. We'll come back to that when we get to the gearing. 13-inch rims actually look quite good on this car, so I'm going to leave those, and the wheel size makes sense as well. Well, we have no restrictions on brakes, so let's do solid discs in the front with 2 pistons, and we'll do drums on the back. I'll try to make these solid discs a little bit bigger so we can actually stop this car. Yeah, it's not exactly going to be heavy, but I do want to be able to stop. So I'm not really allowed to use any under trays. I can use an off-road skid tray if I want to, but that's not exactly going to do much, so we're going to just go with none. We'll leave the brake airflow up a little bit to help cool those brakes, and that'll be it. So we'll make the car a bench seat at the back for now. We'll probably end up coming back and changing that. Yeah, so we need to do a standard interior, and we need to do a standard something in the entertainment, so we'll go 8-track. It's not like you're going to get much luxury in this thing. So we'll do hydraulic power steering because we have to, and we'll also go for a ABS because again we need to. Safety of any standard grade is acceptable, so we'll go standard 70 safety because they haven't changed the design in 20 years. And then all the suspension stuff is up to us, so we'll just go standard for pretty much everything. And oh, look at that! We're actually getting into the fun budget cars here. That is very surprising. Now this Bugo actually has double the power of the original Bugo, so it should be theoretically pretty quick. We'll come back to this stuff in a bit. I'm thinking sport preset. Ooh. That's even better, goodness. Just a quick sport preset and all of a sudden we've got the low mobile going. I guess that's what we get with the double wishbone, but yikes. That thing is flush. This must be a glitch. There's no way. That is just so low. I'm used to the Bugo being so much taller because its suspension is kind of messed up. Either way, we can actually go down lower. Like, this is almost not even practical, it's so low, but I just like it so much. I guess we'll just leave the sport preset though. That's already good enough. And before we go too far, we need to make sure that we actually hit a lot of these objectives, and we need to make sure that we are not too heavy. So we do hit the minimum weight, and we are not maxing out the weight, so we're good there. We can probably add a little bit more, and something that is also of note is we're only at 15,000 in approximate cost, so we can do a little bit better in terms of our components. We've got another $10,000 of room, so let's play with it a bit. So keeping in mind that our minimum weight is 700 kilos, I'm taking out the back seats, so we're down to 767. We can't add much more power. I mean, we could probably increase the quality of the engine a little bit with our budget, but it's not going to get us very far. So I just took out the back seats, and hopefully that'll help us with our power to weight a little bit. Now we can do some work in terms of the tuning, and then we'll get back to it afterwards. Looking at the graphs though, like everything is really nicely lined up, and I don't want to change that. We also can't improve materials or anything, so we'll just kind of have to play with it a bit more. Brakes are a little bit too strong, so we'll turn those down just a little bit there. We're making some of that classic, I guess that's uplift, so off-road skid tray doesn't do anything. We'll just take that back off. Well, we have it in the budget, so let's try and do a viscous LSD, and okay, that did add a bit to it, but we're gonna need that for our own speed's sake. We don't want to die here out on the streets, and I'm thinking we actually increase this just a little bit, maybe up to 55, and we should be good. No wheel spin issues at all. So I increased the quality of our exhaust, and we're up to 62.6 horsepower. And we still have budget to spare. We're only up to 18,000, so I'm thinking we put that money into the wheels. That's probably where it's most needed. You know, I thought I'd be pinching pennies on this build, but I'm actually able to put the quality sliders up a lot more than I thought. Okay, we're up to 20k, and probably a couple points in brakes wouldn't hurt. Although the brakes are pretty much as small as they can get. Just a couple of points in the brakes, and up to just a little bit over 20,000. Although things are still steadily improving. As odd as it might seem, I'm increasing the quality of the interior, which will give us less weight. I do want to get down as close to that 700 as we can get, and you can see on our brake graph, our brakes are getting stronger and stronger as we get lighter. Alright, there we go, 24.9, let's see if we can squeak out another one. Nope, nothing out of there. Oh, there we go, 25,000 exactly. I just put an extra little point into aerodynamics, although that doesn't do much for us. But that is it. I think the Bugo is ready to go. Noise we're breaking, but everything else we're good for street class. Let's go ahead and try this thing out in Beam for a short little jaunt. I'm not even sure what track we're going to be racing these things on, but we may as well just go ahead and try it. Hey everyone, so this is the Bugo Key Car Showcase version in Beam. You can see kind of in the bottom left-hand corner, it has a significant issue, which I do not know how to overcome at this point. I could edit files to make it work, but I can't seem to fix it. I think it might just be an issue with inline 3s in general, but I have been having a lot of issues with the automation exporting into Beam lately, just with the past build and this one as well. So I'll give you an example of what's going on. We'll just quickly reset the car, and then if I decide that I want to rev it up just to rev the engine, it'll lock up the engine, basically. If I want to drive the car, I'll shift it into first gear, drive it, goes okay, up high in the rev range, and then immediately it backfires as it would normally do, and then the engine locks up. So I don't know what's going on. I'm guessing that it's like weak internals that it's doing this, and Beam just doesn't gel well with that. Automation seems to be a bit generous, maybe. The only way I can get this car to actually drive is to shift it up into 5th or maybe 4th, and then kind of just start off like this. But again, as soon as it gets high in the rev range, it's going to grenade the engine, so it's not like it really matters that much. Like, the only way to drive this car is under 3,000 RPM. I don't know. Seems to be a bit of an issue. Needless to say, I don't think I'm going to be doing too much with it in Beam just because of that. There isn't really much we can do. Just starting it out in 5th like this, we can't really do any races or anything like that, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that to your attention either way. Well, some videos go well, like I think the last one did, other than having a bit of an error where I said that high stroke meant high RPM. Yeah, my mistake on that one. And some videos don't go as well, in this case the not really being able to follow the rules, and also this engine exploding. But other than that, I think the Bugo actually looks really good. I like that I have a new version of it now, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit and then use it for further things. Just because the older version of the Bugo, which is a much older file, is not usable really anymore. It's kind of glitched, so the thing is in 2005 permanently. Needless to say, we might actually be able to get away with driving this in reverse now. This is just... oh, never mind. I was gonna say this is just that Bugo charm, but it's coming back to haunt me just a little bit. Oh yeah, this is an example of a Bugo that's actually working. This is the Turbo Bugo Sport. It's kind of an updated Bugo that's maybe a little bit higher quality, but this is the first version of it in comparison to its new rival, I guess, or the 1980 version versus the 1990 version. Not much has changed. But the one good thing about the 1980 version is that it actually does drive, although barely, and it kind of drives like a small boat, we'll say. It bounces around just a little bit. And it seems to have basically all the same shortcomings, except that last one does not have such a wobbly back end. I'll show you what that looks like in action. No idea why this is. I suspect that it's because of quality, but it's always bothered me about this car, so I'm thankful that it doesn't exist like that anymore. Needless to say, the Bugo charm does not wear off, and apparently I can't push this one either. Just gotta shift it into neutral, I guess. I just wanted to push it into the forest, but oh no, there we go. I was gonna say, is that too much to ask? A proper burial for this car? I'm trying to make the best out of a bad situation here. Alright, here we go, a proper send-off. Come on, Bugo, you got this. 60 kilometers an hour, you're capable of more than that. And... yeah, that's about as good as I can expect it to go. Well, don't forget this car is the best off-roader ever created, so here it is going 12 kilometers an hour against a tree. So that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this Bugo in the comments. I know it's a bit of a failure in terms of driving, but it did work in automation. It's unfortunate that it didn't want to work in Beam. Still gotta figure that out. If you have any ideas, let me know. And be sure to check out that showcase. You'll be able to see the Discord link at the top of the description, and that'll take you down to the page that you can go to submit your own car and read the rules and also join the discussion. be sure to chat to the creators of this showcase. It's Destraga and Overlord. They are the ones who are much more knowledgeable about this than I am. As they created these rule sets, they know what they're talking about. I don't, so be sure to ask them. I just want to go ahead and thank those who have chosen to support the channel, specifically Canadian Steel, Overlord, Dr. Ivo, That Riced Out Explorer, QT Bear, James, McLovin Plays, Slow Fried Chicken 69, Terry Williams, sorry, I'm going to mess up your name again, aren't I? Crypt Panzer, The Most Random Person, and Justin. Thank you all for your support, and I appreciate all of you again. As we go into March, it's really good to have your consistent support. Anyways, I'll see you guys again, and everybody else, next Saturday for another video.